Hi guys, this is number 10. Let's take a look at number 10. So we have a model for the period of a pendulum. So this model, this T means the time, the period. And then this L is the length of the pendulum. And G is just the gravitational, the constant for the gravitational force. So G is the acceleration due to gravity. And this G is a constant. It's usually just when we use meter, and second it's 9.8. Okay, so this G is given 9.8. So now we do know that if a pendulum has a period of 1 second, so in other words, it swings back and forth, right? When you have a pendulum, so the period, that means when it goes the other way, comes back, this whole process is just 1 second. Let's figure out its length to the nearest centimeter. So in other words, you're given this T, so T is known. You know that it's 1 second. 1 second. And this G is 9.8. We do know that. We need to figure out the length. That's what's going on. Okay. So I would like to make sure that you have a chance to do this problem. So I'm gonna create another number. Okay, I'm not gonna use 1 second. I would use, say, suppose my the period is say 5 seconds. Okay, how do I find the length? So according to this formula, I do know 5 seconds equals 2 pi times square root of L. L is what I'm trying to find, divided by 9.8. So the purpose is to figure out this length. Okay, so basically you solve for an equation that involves a radical. If you remember, how do we solve equation involving radical? You want to isolate the radical. So therefore, I want to remove this 2 pi by dividing both sides by 2 pi. So this is what I have. 5 over 2 pi equals square root of L over 9.8. Right? This is nice. So once you have this particular form, now you need to get rid of this square root. How do you get rid of the square root? You square both sides. So this is what I'm going to do next. So the next step is to square both sides. Okay, square both sides. So once we square both sides, the left side I have 5 square, which is 25, right? Over 2 pi square, which means 4 times pi square. And my right hand side is going to be square root and then squared. They cancel out with each other, so I have L over 9.8. Okay. So, and then you're going to solve for L. Keep in mind you're going to solve for L. So the next step I would do is to eliminate 9.8 by multiplying both sides 9.8. Or the other way to think about it is you cross multiply this. Okay. So finally, my L would be in the problem that I created. So my L should be, so they cancel out with each other. It will be 25 divided by 4 pi square. Remember I have a 9.8, right? So times 9.8. Okay. So, and then you're going to use your calculator. This is something that I feel that you should be able to do now. So just run it to the nearest centimeter. So now I'm going to pause here for a second, and I'm going to do my algebra here. So in the problem that I have, okay, okay, I'm going to just, so this is what I use. Pi I use 3.14, and don't forget the square. And then after my algebra, I get 6.21222. Please keep in mind the units that I have is coming from meter per second square. So the units that we are using is meter. So here I'm going to say, hey, this is meter. And the question is asking centimeter. So 100 100 centimeter is just 1 meter. So in other words, this is about 621.22 centimeter, right? Centimeter. Okay. So therefore, mine would be 621 point nearest centimeter. So this is what I would keep, because this is less than the tree is less than 5. So this is what I will keep. Now, of course, this is based on I changed this to second to 5. Yours will be just 1. Make sure that you do the math using the 1. Okay, this is it.